Am I the jerk for not buying my sibling food even though they haven't eaten for 3 days? All my siblings live in a 2-bedroom condo. I am a 21-year-old female, and my younger brother is a 19-year-old male. We only stay for the summer when college is not in session. My older brother is a 24-year-old male, and my sister is a 26-year-old female, and they live here permanently. My sister goes to a school close by. Our parents are not in the country and do not support us financially, but they pay for my sister's and younger brother's school fees. Ever since I came to the United States for college, every summer, I would visit my sister. We did not have the condo back then, so I would just stay in my sister's dorm room to not be lonely. For some reason or another, she never had any money. She was going through some student immigration issues that also prevented her from working. Since it was not her fault at the time, I took it upon myself to buy food for both of us. I had scholarship money and a job. I would buy the groceries while she would cook. On occasion, she would be too lazy to cook, and I would buy us both takeout. I thought this was very fair at the time because I absolutely hate cooking. This scenario happened for 2 summers in a row, where I would pay for all the food we ate. A switch happened the 3rd summer, as she was tired of being the only one cooking and said I was ungrateful. I said fair enough and started eating only takeout. Groceries were still remaining at the time, so she would only cook for herself. Now, being the 4th summer, she does not like to cook at all anymore, which is fine because I hate cooking as well. The problem is that she cannot afford takeout every day, so on occasion, out of pity, I would buy her takeout as well. I stopped doing this because once, I asked her for help in just bringing the food inside for us and she aggressively refused. It was food for both of us. Since then, I have refused to buy her takeout. We stay in the same room, so she sees me eat my takeout every day and will always beg for a piece. I usually give her, but I have stopped at the moment. There are groceries in the fridge, but she does not like cooking anymore and is thus not eating. She always tries to get me to buy her takeout, and I refuse. I also do not have the money to be buying both of us takeout anymore. It is her 3rd day not eating, and she begs every day. I tell her no, there is food in the fridge, and she can just cook. My parents want me to pity her again and buy food, but I keep refusing. Am I the asshole? You did nothing to be ashamed of. She has food in the house and can cook, but she has not eaten for 3 days because she prefers takeout. Maybe she needs some professional help, as it is not normal to starve yourself for days just because you didn't get takeout. If she is not willing to get help, then it is on her. Your parents should step in and either tell her to eat or get her real help. Am I the jerk for telling someone they shouldn't be assuming things about me based on my family circumstances? I am a 17-year-old female and I am Chinese American. My parents immigrated to the United States from China, and I was born in the United States. I recently attended a sleepaway camp with other 16 to 18-year-olds. The camp lasted a week. Towards the last few days of camp, we had gotten to know each other more and were talking one day at breakfast. There were a few of us girls at a table. Our conversation shifted to us talking about our families, and one girl, whom I will call Anna, started talking about how she has a lot of extended family near where she lives. She has many aunts, uncles, and cousins, and visits them regularly to hang out and have fun together. She also mentioned that her aunts, uncles, and grandparents give her a lot of gifts during her birthday and Christmas. She talked for a while before eventually turning the conversation to me to ask me about my family. I told her that most of my extended family is in China, so I do not get to see them often. I recently went back to visit them in June, but the last time I visited them before the June trip was the summer of 2019. My closest extended family is in California, which is across the country from where I live in the Midwest. Therefore, I do not get to see my extended family very often. I am content with that, and my immediate family, which consists of my mother, my father, my brother, and myself, get along well with each other. I told the table of girls this, and they were mostly silent. Then Anna spoke up and said that it sucks that I do not get to see my extended family often. She said that it must be sad and depressing because I do not get to have fun with my family often, or that I do not get as many birthday or Christmas gifts from them. The tone she used when saying it sounded like she was saying something negative about me. Looking back, perhaps she was just shocked in the moment. However, I got a little angry because I did not like that she was making assumptions about me. I responded that I did not appreciate her making baseless assumptions about me just because I do not get to see my extended family as often as she does. It is not my fault that most of my family lives across an ocean. I told her that I am fine with my immediate family, and that I still have good times with my extended family during the few times I go to see them. For the rest of camp, the group of us girls still hung out with each other, but the atmosphere felt more tense and uncomfortable after I said that to Anna. Am I the asshole? It's clear neither of you is trying to hurt each other, it's just about different experiences. She based her response on her own life, imagining how she would feel in your situation. It was a moment of empathy, not an attack. Try to explain your perspective calmly and bridge the gap in understanding. Am I the jerk for wanting my soon-to-be sister-in-law's kids at my wedding? My soon-to-be sister-in-law's kids are the worst. Actually, her daughter is not bad, just a normal preteen, but her son is the worst child I have ever met. I truly believe this child is going to either be a predator or a menace to society. A few years ago, my fiancé and I went to visit them. We were out on a day trip, and as we were driving, I heard the daughter screaming at her brother to stop. I turned around and saw he was pinching her nipples and saying, "I'll stop if you kiss me on the lips." At the time, the daughter was about 11 years old, and the son was 7 years old. I told the son to stop, but my soon-to-be sister-in-law yelled at her daughter to not yell at her brother. This is the type of child that will scream and throw a fit if his iPad dies. If he does not get his way, he will physically throw a fit and throw himself on the ground. My soon-to-be sister-in-law says he acts this way because his father was deployed when he was an infant and did not have the father figure for the first year of his life. At my soon-to-be brother-in-law's wedding a few years ago, this boy was sticking his fingers into the wedding cake before the bride and groom cut it. Now, I know weddings always have something that goes wrong, but I do not want to chance that at my wedding. A year ago, my fiancé called my soon-to-be sister-in-law and told her that we do not want her kids at our wedding. She said she understood and it would be no problem. Her husband is also a groomsman. Fast forward to the present, and it is a big problem. My soon-to-be sister-in-law does not know I do not want her kids there because I hate her son. We told her it is because we are not having children there besides babies. My sister is not going because she has 5 kids. For whatever reason, my soon-to-be sister-in-law thinks she can do whatever she wants, regardless of our wishes. It has reached the point where my soon-to-be sister-in-law is causing so much drama that I almost called off the wedding because I did not know if I wanted to be part of a family where they treat you like this. My sister-in-law has gotten almost everyone on my fiancé's side of the family to talk badly about me. I have been told by multiple people on my fiancé's side of the family that my sister-in-law is telling everyone she will be bringing her children no matter what. I texted my sister-in-law a few weeks ago to try to clear the air and to see if she was really telling people that. I also told her I was tired of her talking badly about me and causing drama about my wedding. She read the message but never replied. I told my fiancé I am tired of playing nice and will tell her to leave the wedding if that happens. Am I the a-hole? You acted correctly. Given the behavioral concerns that others have noticed, it's not looking good for a peaceful future. Hiring security for your wedding seems like a solid plan, especially if your fiancé isn't fully backing you up. You need to consider how many more times you'll have to deal with this woman's hands-off approach to parenting, especially if you plan to have kids. Good luck, OP. It sounds like ongoing drama might be inevitable. Am I the jerk for not going on vacation with my family? My parents are really bad parents. There was an absolute favorite in the family that they made no effort to hide. That golden child was, contrary to most posts here, me. I was not a huge fan of it. I have a twin sister I'm very close to, and I was the obvious favorite. I don't know why, other than maybe they didn't want a girl. Much to my shame, I was the stereotypical golden child until we were 5 years old. When we met 2 other sets of twins at kindergarten, I realized that parents don't just randomly treat one kid better. Seeing the twins so close made me rethink everything, and I did a complete 180. I tried my best to make sure everything we did was something my sister could at least somewhat enjoy. I even pretended to enjoy certain things she liked, so my parents would allow us to go for her, even if I hated it. Recently, my parents planned a family trip to Brazil. I'm pretty sure they spent around $5,000 on the trip. The issue is that I have a 5-year-old son with my wife, and my sister is unmarried without children. She texted me a few days ago and told me that our parents basically told her to look after my child pretty much the whole trip for free so we could enjoy ourselves and relax. I was very much not okay with this and texted my parents to either hire a babysitter or some sort of help or make sure there were all kid-friendly activities planned. She agreed at the time, but when we all got to the airport, she handed us an itinerary with a lot of adult activities. I asked about the childcare system, whether that be hotel staff, a play place with childcare, a babysitter, or what have you. She told me she decided against that and said my sister could take care of him. I was very angry, and my wife was annoyed as well. I told her I wasn't going to ruin my sister's trip because of her cruelty and my negligence to ensure she had set up care or done it myself. We just left. She was upset that I didn't come, and I have received texts from some other family members saying it was cruel to make them waste money. However, it was not a waste because my sister still went and had a blast. So Reddit, please. Am I the asshole for not wanting to make my sister free childcare and going on vacation? You haven't done anything wrong. Kudos for realizing the whole toxic golden child game that early on and not buying in. Good catch there, and well done on calling out your mom's BS. Your parents broke a promise to you about the childcare and she's a jerk, but of course, you already know that. Am I the jerk for trying to help my sibling? I, a 16-year-old female, have a brother, an 8-year-old male, who has shown signs of being neurodivergent since he was 2. Even at 10 years old, I told my parents not to let him do certain things, knowing that activities like TikToks and YouTube Shorts could harm his attention span, especially for a child showing signs of being on the spectrum. The past school year, his teacher said he probably has ADHD, something I have said for years, but instead of helping, my parents would just scream at him for it. He is not diagnosed as the waitlist is long. I have taken on a parental role, taking him out, helping with schoolwork, navigating emotions, teaching kindness, and instructing him on what to do when, among other things. My mother appreciates this very much but sometimes gets in the way and lets things she should not slide. She is tired, so I understand and remind them both when needed. My father is just argumentative. For example, I try to teach my brother things step by step, letting him make mistakes and learn. Today, I was helping him make hot chocolate. He heated the water, got the cocoa, and picked a cup and lid that did not fit. I let him try it out. My father came in, distracting him by saying, "Ooh, it's gonna fall." I asked my father not to distract him since it was his first time and the drink was hot. My brother thought the lid he grabbed would fit, but it did not. My father took it away, saying, "That's obviously not right, get another." I reminded my father to let him try and problem solve. My father was getting mad and kept being distracting. My brother then got a new cup since none of the lids fit. There were still chunks of powder when the liquid was moved, so I started to tell him to grab the spoon, but my father grabbed it first and left the spoon in the cup. My brother quickly grabbed it and the liquid swished, spilling a drop. My father yelled again, "Look at what you're doing." I pointed out that it was not exactly his fault. I reassured my brother while he cleaned up, but my father kept going with something like, "My son doesn't have ADHD. He's just stubborn and doesn't listen, and you know nothing about teaching kids. You're just making him an idiot." I reminded my father that my brother learns better this way and to stop distracting him, which led to more yelling. Another argument started since my father was already in a bad mood, and when I tried to fix stuff between them by asking the reason for the argument, he said, "I don't need to have a reason. I just don't want him to do this, so he will not." He said this because there was no good reason. He just did not want this to happen, so he yelled about it instead of communicating it properly. My brother ended up crying. This is just a small example, but every time I try to help, it is either interrupted or efforts are undone. For example, after discussing how bad YouTube shorts are for his attention and telling the family he had a goal not to watch any for the rest of the day, I found him watching them again while my family was right there and did nothing. Am I the asshole? Taking on a parental role can take a huge toll on you, so remember to take care of yourself too. There is definitely a time and place to advocate for your brother when your parents don't, but screen time battles might not be the hill to die on. Consider reaching out to a school counselor to bring up your concerns and see what kind of support they may recommend. The best thing to do is to push for professional treatment because once doctors get involved, your parents might be more likely to comply. Am I the jerk for hating my dad because he did everything for our family to not leave our county? A short introduction. I am from Ukraine and the rules in this country after May state that men cannot be outside the home. The rule says, either you go to war, you have a disability, or you work in a job that gives you a paper indicating you are exempt from military duty. The story is, my father is an electrician, and his work gives papers that make him free for the period that he is working only in our city. For a year, we planned how to leave safely and buy a house in another country with the money we would get from selling our car. Even my mother's third pregnancy was planned. My brother is just an instrument for leaving, as my parents say. The last child was born because families can leave Ukraine with 3 or more children. I am turning 18 in September, which means my parents will have 2 children and 1 adult. Oops, they can't leave with those. My family is poor, so paying money and getting the right documents is not the solution. Before May, for my dad, it was easy to get into military registration and give them all the documents to get a paper to leave, or so we thought. He tried to get into this office, but he was always in a queue to get there. Every week for 3 days, he said he needed to go there during all work hours, which meant he wasn't able to go to work. Dad is still going there, but yesterday I found out that he is not going there. Dad got a call from his friend when he left the house to go to military registration. He forgot his phone at home. I know that friend very well, and after talking with me, he told me that my dad is spending our money on drugs and another woman. As my dad said before, the money he spent was bribes for people in registration who moved him further in the queue. We were pretty stupid, huh? Time is passing and my birthday is in 2 months. My dad told my mother that he was first in queue today and would get the documents in a week. But the truth was, he wasn't even in the queue. He hadn't been there for about a month. Today marks the 3rd month that he is going there instead of work. Today I said a lot of words to my dad about how much I hate him and how he ruined his children's lives. Before this moment, I didn't tell my mom because I thought it was still easy to get the documents. As I found out today, our country's borders recently closed for families with 3 children. They open only if you have money now. That is the reason why I hate him now. But now we don't even have money for food. I hate him so much because after 2 months, all ways will be closed. Even the way with money. I have been working since I was 14 years old to pay for myself, but now I am working from home and get very little money for work as a digital artist. The whole family is living on my savings for college. I can't live alone because I am supporting my entire family now. Am I the asshole, as my dad says, because I want to take my mom and siblings and leave the country without him? You are not to blame. Your father failed in his most basic responsibility of caring for his family, leaving you to pick up the slack. If you can get out and take your family with you, do it. Do it. Best of luck to you and your family navigating this tough situation. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.